Well, hello, Pattern Mill. Jimi Hendrix here, your Christian success coach. Let me ask you something. What could a man that is known only in a sacred text of Scripture that was discovered in the Americas have to say about business? Well, today I am going to be talking to you out of the preaching of Jacob chapter 5 in the Book of Mormon. And for those of you who are not members of my faith, I ask you to please not tune me out. Because this is not a doctrinal message. This is clearly insights from my faith that can be applied for any business. You may say, well, Jimmy, how can that be so? Especially those of you who are in the church, you're thinking, well, Jacob chapter 5, that's the parable of the olive tree. That's missionary work, the gathering of Israel. Yes, in many ways it's true. But I want you to look at Jacob chapter 5 in kind of a business juxtaposition, a parable, if you will. You think about it, okay? Now, I'm going to go to my Gospel Library app, those of you in the church, the Book of Mormon, those of you, if you can, I advise you, if you need some extra help, some texts in the Book of Mormon really help. In Jacob chapter 5, it may not seem that way, but we have a saying in Latter-day Saints philosophy that says, we take what we see as scriptures and liken them to ourselves. And in the ancient Hebrew culture, and this is something that a good friend of mine, Chris, when he was a stake president, he said we could start using what's known as in the Hebrewism as a midrash to enlighten ourselves with the culture, okay? So now I'm going to read the original text, certain verses. Obviously, I can't preach out the whole chapter, but I want you to see this. Verse 7. And it came to pass that the master of the vineyard saw it, and he said unto his servants, It grieveth me that I should lose this tree. Wherefore go and pluck the branches from the wild olive tree, and bring them hither unto me, and we will pluck off those main branches which are beginning to wither away, and we will cast them into the fire, that they may be burned. And behold, saith the Lord of the vineyard, I take away many of these young and tender branches, and I will graft them whithersoever I will. And it mattereth not that if it so be that the root of this tree will perish. I may preserve the fruit thereof unto myself. Wherefore I will take these young and tender branches, and I will graft them whithersoever I will. Verse 9. Take them, the branches of the wild olive tree, and graft them in the stead thereof, and these which I have plucked off, I will cast into the fire and burn them, that they may not cumber the ground of my vineyard. Okay, so here's something, and it's all over scripture, okay? It's in the Bible. Look at several parts where the master of the vineyard says, what more could I have done for my vineyard? Okay, let's say you own a business. Maybe like me, you've been in network marketing. It didn't work out maybe like it is before, but you're not jaded by it, okay? You're still objective enough to maybe give another shot. Just certain circumstances weren't right. But here's the thing. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Let me get this stupid thing on Do Not Disturb so I can preach a little bit more. I mean, the music's nice. Don't get me wrong. But let's go back and look at this through more of a business analogy. I'm going to read this to you from what I've seen earlier this week. And it's my 56th birthday. And I want you to read this. And it came to pass that the owner of the business saw it, and he said unto his partner, it grieveth me that I should lose this source. Wherefore, go and pluck the clients from the new business source, and bring them hither unto me, and we will pluck off those main clients which are beginning to wither away, and we will cast them into the fire that they may be burned. Sometimes we have to leave behind a business idea that maybe for some reason we haven't worked it enough. Maybe through no fault of our own, unforeseen things have happened. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's a sign from God that we got to move on. We got to move on. Alright? And having to move on means you've got to cut to the roots the things that are no longer serving you. And get into the business thing. Okay? Now, verse 8. And behold, saith the man of the business, I will take away many of these young and special clients, and I will place them wherever I will. And it matters not that if it so be that the root of this source will perish. I may preserve the profit thereof unto myself. Wherefore, I will take these young and special clients, and I will graft them whithersoever I will. Verse 9. Take thou the clients of the young business source, and graft them in the stead thereof. And these which I have plucked off, I will cast into the fire, and burn them, that they may not cumber the ground of my vineyard. It could be that a business that you're working on is cumbering your soul. It's not really who you are. It's not the business model that is the perfect fit for you. Could be good for an investment, but not necessarily something that you necessarily want to work. Not necessarily something that God has in mind for you. And those ones that are cumbering your ground of your source, God will let you know what those are. But here's and it's easy to despair and say, oh, but I wanted this so, and I know. I feel that. I wanted this so bad. But listen to me. That is where true innovation comes in. That's where the entrepreneur says, I will trust in the Lord. And that is my stance. Now, I hope you enjoy watching. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of Pattern Realm. Until next time, this is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time. Listen, don't just sit there and take it. Go build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Please share this with Mamacita, Papacito, y todo. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless you. Remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Jimmy loves you. I really love you. God bless you, and please, go out there and have a blessed day. Consider this box of wisdom my knowledge to you.